So, I just had somebody contact me yesterday about building something for them. And I'd done some work for this gentleman before. It's a good guy to work for, actually. Uh, you make a deal, and he keeps his word, and I appreciate that. He's an interesting individual. He's kind of crusty and gruff, which I don't mind at all. He lets you know exactly where you stand and where he stands. And so he asked me to do another job. So I said, yeah, okay. Can you price it out? So he priced out materials, which kind of gave him a sticker shock, but welcome to the world of buying wood these days. I'm at Home Depot, just looked at some prices. I'm like, wow. Anyway, but he says, what's it going to cost me to get this done? And so I calculated it and, put some things together and sent him a price. And initially, he's like, okay, good, let's go. And then I realized I'd overpriced him. And I said, listen, I'm sorry, I overpriced you. And I dropped the price, literally $600. Boom, right off the top. And he said, great, when can you work? And I said, well, try this week. And then he says to me, you know what? I don't think I want to pay that much in labor. And I said, okay, good enough. You don't want to pay it. It's best you make that decision now, because I don't want to get halfway done and you get into your head that you're not going to pay it, and well, then we're both in trouble. So anyways, that was the end of that conversation. I might hear back from him when he starts trying to find somebody else who's going to do it. But that's neither here nor there. But what it did strike me is that how he's a really good example of counting the cost. I mean, a lot of times we get, we get excited about something. A lot of people, they get excited about the idea of following Christ, but they don't really stop and consider, what is this going to cost? And Jesus is very clear. He said, don't put your hands to the plow and look back. You're not worthy. It's like nobody starts to build a building before they check out the labor costs, because they'll get halfway done and run out of money and people say, what a moron. And he said, that's not the way you should live your life. You should live your life by making a proper assessment and evaluation of what is it going to cost you. What is it going to cost you, not just to be a Christian, but in every aspect of it. One of the difficulties that I've seen in the church is a lot of people make commitments that involve other people, and they commit and other people begin to rely on them, and then they don't. I remember one person that was very close to me that really wanted a mentor in their life. And after I'd preached a sermon, I was standing there and somebody came up to this individual and said, listen, I want to mentor you. I really want to step into your life and be an encouragement to you. And the person was really excited. And then 2 weeks later, new people came into the church, and this individual decided they wanted to connect with those people more than this other individual and dropped them. Devastation. Jordan Peters, I just watched a little clip on him, and he said, I think that when the biggest tragedies that we have difficulty in dealing with is when people don't live up to their word. Now, of course, he said it much more eloquently and smarter than I would have, but he's basically deception. Somebody makes a promise, somebody makes a commitment, and they don't really consider what the commitment actually means, and they don't follow through. And that's the worst kind of pain, knowing that you were accepted then rejected. Somebody looked and said, yeah, I recognize there's a need in your life, and I know I have the capacity to help you with that need, and you know what, yeah, I'm going to do it, and then turn around and say, no, I don't think so. Just makes things worse. So my encouragement to you is, when you're looking at what God is asking you to do, really count the cost. Know what you're getting yourself into. Know what you're committing to, and not to say don't do it, but to say, you know what, I planned on this. I've prepared for this. So if things go south, this was something that I was, I had counted on. I had looked at and said, despite the fact that all the struggles or difficulties that I may go through, I'm going to make that commitment. Hope that's been an encouragement to you. I didn't get the job, but I've got enough work to keep me busy, so we'll just keep on trucking. God bless you. I hope that's been an encouragement to you. Bye for now.